The grand reopening is almost upon us. We're going to lay out the major restrictions set to disappear in the tri-state.
We'll be getting another warm evening and overnight, but can we stay rain-free? I'll show you.
Looking for something to do as restrictions relax? New York Live has some fun ideas with a view. This is News 4 Now for May 18th. I'm Adam Cooperstein, and starting Wednesday, the tri-state's going to make the biggest leap forward in this road to recovery yet. Those confusing capacity limits, those are gone. But mask wearing and where you can take them off, it's a little more complicated. In New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, say goodbye to those percentage-based capacity limits for restaurants, retail stores, salons, gyms, museums, theaters, and offices. But in New York, there is one restriction sticking around for another week or so, the indoor dining curfew. It's still midnight until May 31st, but the outdoor curfew has been lifted. Now masks. That varies by state. In New York and Connecticut, indoor and outdoor mask mandates get lifted Wednesday for people who are fully vaccinated. But New Jersey isn't following the CDC guidance, and so the indoor mask mandate remains there, while only the outdoor mandate has been lifted. And you can imagine this puts business owners in a tough spot because they can't tell who's vaccinated, so they have to decide their own mask policy.
Plan as to finding out who's actually vaccinated and who's not. So to avoid any circumstances, we want to make sure that we continue enforcing the masks, temperature checks, and all the safety precautions until we all get to a very confident place.
Nationally, more than 47% of adults are fully vaccinated, and that number is even higher in the tri-state. Andrew Giuliani, the son of former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, wants to be New York's next governor. The website New York for Giuliani went live this morning. Giuliani formally announced his candidacy this afternoon in Lower Manhattan, and the 35-year-old has never run for office, but he says his 4 years serving as an aide to former President Donald Trump has prepared him for this moment. The younger Giuliani will have to take on a field of competitors in the primary, which includes New York Congressman Lee Zeldin from Long Island. Cuomo hasn't said yet, by the way, if he plans to run for a fourth term. And we're getting new details about Governor Cuomo's taxes and what he's earning on that book that he wrote about the pandemic response. The book called American Crisis raked in $3 million last year for the governor, and another $2 million is expected over the next 2 years. The net income from the book is being split, and some of that goes to a COVID charity, the rest to a trust for his 3 daughters. Last year, the governor's adjusted gross income was $3.6 million. A Jetblue flight from JFK took a wild turn on the way to California. That plane had to land hours away from its destination after a passenger caused a lot of chaos on board. Instead of landing in San Francisco, that plane diverted to Minneapolis. According to flight attendants, a man allegedly touched another passenger, refused to wear a mask, and kept getting out of his seat. In a statement, JetBlue said the man was acting erratically and aggressively, and one flight attendant gives a play-by-play in a video that was recorded on board.
Antagonizing other passengers and had the knife, gesturing, stabbing motions towards the other passenger, and there was also observed erratic behavior and snorting a white substance.
Okay. Police say the man who forced the plane to divert was arrested on suspicion of drug possession. NYPD officers saved a man's life when they pulled him off the subway tracks, and that heroic rescue was captured on video.
Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on.
Police say the man suffered a medical episode on Sunday at the 14th Street station in Chelsea. He then fell onto the tracks in front of an approaching train. 2 officers quickly signaled the train conductor to stop, and they jumped down to help that man until paramedics arrived. Well, it's been just perfect May weather the past few days, but Maria, now it's starting to feel like a taste of summer.
We are going to get another great feeling evening, a lot like yesterday, minus the scattered showers that we have. But temperatures are staying mild straight through this evening into the mid and upper 70s, even as we get to the after sunset time frame here, still in the low 70s. And then with fair skies, temperatures dropping into the 60s. One thing that we don't have either, the humidity. These winds from tonight through tomorrow will be west-northwest, so we're not adding to any of that low-level moisture that can make summertime temperatures or summer-like temperatures feel a little sticky. So it's another quiet, pleasant morning to start the day tomorrow. Down to 62 in the city, 50s from White Plains, Poughkeepsie, Sussex, and for Long Island from Merrick to Islip. It will be another warm afternoon, even warmer than today for tomorrow.
The views, it's one of the best parts of New York City. And here's New York Live with how you can soar to new heights with new adventures with a view.
If you're looking for something fun to do with a pretty cool view, get excited because today I am exploring new heights on your behalf. First up, I am taking a yoga class at Edge, which is the highest outdoor sky deck on the Western Hemisphere.
Wow, well look at this space. I mean, where else can you do yoga like this? You know, this is a one-of-a-kind experience.
So tell me about the yoga class. Who can take it?
It's available twice a week, Wednesdays and Fridays. We're offering it twice on those 2 days. The first group is for non-members and they pay a small fee of $50.
Definitely bring your cameras because they give you about 10 minutes after class to get probably the most Instagrammable shots you could possibly think of.
And the second class is for Equinox members that are destination members, so it's exclusive to them.
And any level yogi can do this?
Absolutely, this is an open level class.
Okay, Leah, so we are on the roof of Pier 40 at Trapeze School, New York. Tell me what you guys offer here.
So here at Trapeze School, New York, we have flying trapeze lessons. Most of our classes are all levels and anyone can come and learn to do flying trapeze.
And the views are incredible. You can see the World Trade Center. Tell me about what is about to happen here.
You're about to take your first class here and we're gonna be working on something called a knee hang. Our wonderful instructors will kind of walk you through what that's all going to look like after getting you on the ground in some ground school.
And after all of that activity, if you want to sit back, relax, and have a laugh, I know just the place.
Are you ready? We are in Bushwick. This is the rooftop Mad Love comedy show. We do comedy here every Friday night at 7 o'clock, open air, incredible views.
So if people want to come to a show or follow you, what can they do?
Absolutely, we can go to Mad Love Comedy on Instagram, madlovecomedy.com. Get your tickets there. They are only $10.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Thank you.
The pride of New York's finest has been hurt by the organizers of that annual march. Over the weekend, they decided to ban police from taking part in the parade until at least 2025. Mayor de Blasio called that decision a mistake, but Pride organizers say they are not backing down. News 4's Gus Rosendale got reaction from both sides.
Organizers are always quick to call it a march, not a parade, because of the injustices suffered here at Stonewall, and they say recent injustices are why they're asking police to stay away from Pride. Police at Pride, now a tradition, from decked out vehicles to officers on the march. But the colorful June celebration rose from the ashes of police abuse at Stonewall. And NYC Pride, the main Pride event organizers, say arrests last June during a shared Black Lives Matter transgender rights event near Washington Square Park led them to cross cops off their invite list, part of growing concerns about how police and the LGBTQ community interact.
It is time that we make up for the mistakes of our past and our history and really give back to those marginalized communities who have taken a back seat over the last several years.
NYC Pride says it's working to cut back on the NYPD's official security role in the coming years, and the group is disinviting police groups from taking part in Pride-related events until at least 2025. The mayor calls it a mistake.
I believe in inclusion, and we're talking about one of the issues is officers who are members of the LGBT community wanting to march.
Along with providing protection, uniformed officers have marched during Pride for years, but open members of the Gay Officers Action League are now being told their dress blues and badges aren't welcome. Now, because of the ongoing pandemic, there will not be a formal march in person this year. It will be a virtual event, but that request for police to stay away is expected to continue until at least 2025. in the Village. I'm Gus Rosendale, News 4 New York.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.